This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
Here we go. The Berman Method podcast, where we're focused on treating problems and not symptoms. Dr. Jake Berman here with my co-hostesses,
Jenni Berman, physician assistant.
Vera K.
Vera K is eating right now. We were going to send her to Nia's house this morning, but she slept in.
Yeah, weekend hangover. Both Stella and Vera snoozing their morning away.
That's right.
All right, here we go. It is summertime and the living's easy.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy summer.
Yes.
June. Vera K started school this month, so we're a couple weeks into that, and that seems to be going well.
Are you so sad?
I miss her at the office. I miss her staring at me every single day for 9 hours a day, but it's better for her. She gets more undivided attention at her school.
It's better for you.
It's better for me. I can focus 100% on where my focus should be while I'm in the work day.
Yes. So for everybody out there listening that thinks you're a multitasker, you're not. There have been studies proving that nobody can multitask. You're just doing one thing and then you're switching over to the other thing. Then you're switching over to the other thing. Then you're switching over to the other thing. There's some people that can make that switch faster than others. There's no such thing as multitasking, though. It's scientifically proven.
Every mother on here begs to differ.
They can beg all they want. You're not going to beg with me in science.
Mm-hmm. Jake and I agree on a lot, but not everything.
Could you tell? Isn't that why this is such a great podcast?
That's why everybody tells us that we should have video recordings of our podcast. They're like, you could go viral with your videos because of the bickering. Is it called bickering?
It is bickering.
Disagreements.
Yeah.
So,
the video component would be great.
I know. We keep saying we're going to work on that, but here we are.
Yep.
Like
if anybody
100
knows
podcasts in and we haven't done it
if
yet.
anybody knows any marketing managers out there or anybody that can take our marketing to the next level that wants to incorporate that, send their resume our way. We'll entertain it. We just don't have the time to do it.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not that we don't want to.
Correct. So here we are.
Here we are. It's summertime. I just downloaded again Sublime, self-titled Sublime. One of my favorite albums from undergrad. Just reminds me of college. Listen to it from beginning to end. Takes me back to the summertime when the living was easy. Not a care in the world other than where's my next ramen noodles going to come from? Am I going to have enough money for gas to get from point A to point B?
Are you going to be able to go airboating without throwing people out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that what you were listening to when I came home the other day and it was blaring in the house?
Yes, that
and
was it.
You were screaming at the top of your lungs.
Yes, I was serenading all of the walls in the house. The dogs had run completely to the opposite end of the house.
That was interesting. I came home and I was like, wow, feeling it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so are you ready to jump in?
Yeah, today is a fun one for me because it is one of the things that we hear so much, especially downstairs. You hear it upstairs too. You hear it everywhere, really, when it comes to investing time in yourself. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it today was just yesterday when we were in the gym yesterday, Sunday, one of my buddies was in there. His wife is in there every single morning at 5 a.m. with us, but he's never in there. And I always give him a hard time whenever I see him because it's usually once a month. And I'm like, oh man, I'm glad you could fit in some time for yourself. And yesterday he said something that resonated big time with so many of you listening out there, which is yeah, I wanted to make this a weekly thing. Just been too busy at work. And of course, we're giving each other a hard time and end up walking our separate ways, and day goes on. But it really stuck with me because it's like, I hear this so often, especially with some of our family members. Your dad in particular, he works 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, and the gym is the last thing that ever makes it on the to-do list.
Right.
So many of our friends focusing on their careers. I'm doing air quotes right now, focusing on their careers now. If they get a chance to make it to the gym, they'll do it, but it's not as important as making sure that they get this report in on time or getting ready for the next promotion or whatever it is. Yeah. A lot of the business owners that we know right now, especially in our business group, there's so many people in our business group where you can see the physical presentation of healthiness versus not when somebody, one of our peers in the business group, is grinding it out, meaning that they're focusing 100% on the business and not themselves. You can see it physically take a toll on them from quarter to quarter when we have our quarterly meetings. And the thing that I wanted to call people out on is when you say those words, I'm too busy, specifically for work. Work is too crazy right now. I didn't have the chance to get to the gym because work's too crazy. This is what you're literally saying right now. You're trying to say that money is more important than your health. That's what you're saying. You're saying that money is more important than your health. You're not saying anything else other than that. Some people might argue, well, I'm focusing on money because I can take care of my family. Money helps me take care of my family. Well, I'm not going to disagree with that. But there's that word. I love it when I say that word because it's so faux pas in my world. But if you're not physically strong enough and healthy enough, your money's irrelevant.
Right. What is your family going to do without you? Or where is your health going, and what is that doing to your family or your children?
Yes.
What do they have to look up to if they're looking up to a parent that works 24 hours, 7 days a week and doesn't take care of themselves? Not to say that I don't have a lot to look up to with my dad. I certainly do. But that is one thing that I really, wish, I guess is the word I want to say, wish that could be a little bit different about him, because I want his longevity and his health to be able to spend forever with my grandkid or his grandkids, my children. All this to say, if you're not focused on your health, you're not being the best role model that you can be for your children, but also your family can't rely on you forever if you're not focusing somewhat on your health.
Exactly. Another way to say it, I've heard this said so many different ways, and so many different coaches and mentors have asked the question slightly differently, and it goes somewhere around the lines of this. Who is the most important in your life?
Right. Is it your business partner? Is it your employee? Or is it your family?
Yeah. So let me ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's the most important person in your life?
Oh, I have to pick one?
Yep, one. The fact that you're thinking about this already tells me you're going to answer it wrong.
It should be me.
It should be you. The most important person in your life should be yourself. Some people might think that or hear that and say, oh, no, I mean, that's not who I am. I'm a giver. It's all about everybody else. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. If you're not healthy, it's irrelevant. You can't give as much as you could give if you're not healthy.
Right.
So you're a perfect example of this. Who's the most important person in your life?
I am a perfect example. And I just mentioned this yesterday. I practiced what I preach to my clients 99.99999%. The one thing I don't practice what I preach is sleep. I don't get enough sleep. And it's because I have to wake up and utilize the hours that I have to be able to get this done or that done, or to have my uninterrupted time to answer emails or whatever it is. And I know I'm not being the best version of myself without sleeping. However, I'm not putting myself first, just like you're saying.
And everybody rewind this podcast 30 seconds so that you can hear her say the words that everybody says to help justify what she's doing. I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. Last time I checked, we're not in communist Russia, right? Last time I checked, I'm not holding a gun to your head, but you have to do it.
And, of course, I put my argument that I'm still getting my workout in every day. I'm still prepping my meals. I'm still doing my grocery shopping. I'm still making sure the family is eating healthy, in addition to running the business and seeing patients and doing all the things I need to do. So that's where I slack, is not getting enough sleep, because I am so focused on these other aspects of healthy living. But again, it's not equal. It's still not 100% healthy living if I'm not getting the adequate sleep that I should be getting. So this podcast is also for me, that I need to start, focusing more on self-care.
It is for you because, again, hit rewind for the past 60 seconds and listen to everything that she just said. There's only one thing that she said out of that laundry list of things that she has to do that has anything to do with her and herself and her health. And that was when she said she had to work out. Yeah, that's fine. You can work out. But if you don't get enough sleep, are you doing more harm than good by working out and physically exerting yourself? You might try to argue and say, well, it clears my mind and it helps me out psychologically. Yeah, that's great. But what about physiologically? What's happening to your body?
Right.
So this wasn't my initial plan for this thing to come around full circle and be an intervention on you. I do want this to be taken seriously to everybody that's listening, though, is every time you say you're too busy to exercise, you're too busy to come into physical therapy to get your back pain fixed because you're working, you are literally saying money is more important than my health. So I want you to remember that. Money is more important than my health. And the reason why it's so important is that I see it at least on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis, with one of our clients walking in the door who worked their ass off their whole entire life. Somebody that grinded it out 60, 70, 80-hour weeks and built an empire from nothing, absolutely nothing, and has more money. They could not possibly spend all the money that they have even close in their children's lifetime, let alone their own lifetime. Yet they're hobbling up the stairs and they're struggling to get on and off the treatment table. It takes them a minute to get in and out of the car. There's no way that they would be able to chase a grandkid around. And it's like, what the hell was the point? You worked your ass off your whole entire life. You built this empire. You created generational wealth, where if you set it up correctly, your great grandkids don't have to work. But what does it matter? You can't enjoy it. Your pain, your aches and pains have you feeling so old that psychologically you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit in the damn chair.
Right. It's taking away from the quality of life, not only for yourself, but your quality of life with others, with your social group, with your family. And, I actually I've known this, but it was brought back to my attention this morning. I was looking at something. A 1 hour workout is 4% of your day.
4%.
For 60 minutes. You don't even technically need 60 minutes. Start with 30 or 45 minutes, which is less than 4% of your day.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that we could be saying to help stimulate or motivate. However, at the end of the day, motivation without action is completely pointless. There's a reason why I'm not Grant Cardone or any of those other social media influencers that are trying to get you all jacked up to buy one of their programs, because it's just a motivational thing. Motivation without action is irrelevant. You've got to make a promise to yourself. What's more important? And I'll use myself for an example, on a good example and a bad example. Start with the bad. There's many times where the party is more important than the exercise. And what I mean by that is on Christmas vacation, for example, there's always later nights on Christmas vacation than normal life. So if I'm up later, I'm not going to be disciplined. And I shouldn't say it that way. What I was going to say is I'm not going to be disciplined enough to wake up at the same time, 4 a.m. to go get my exercise on. Really what I do is I value sleep more than exercise. So if I'm staying up late, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting my 6 hours of sleep versus saying, okay, I'll get 5 hours or 4 hours tonight and still get my exercise on. So that's one of the bad sides that I have is I'll sacrifice a workout for the party, quote unquote party. But at the same time, I'm trying to balance it by getting sleep so I can at least recover. Now, the good side of it is when we just went to Jamaica last month, it was the first time where I actually exercised. I went to the gym every single day versus a year ago, the party was more important where, we had so much fun during the day and the night. I'm not getting up out of bed to go physically exert myself. You can go do that, Jenny. I'm not doing that. I'll sleep in here, wait for the kids to wake up. Mm-hmm. Then I'll mosey my way down to breakfast and get my life together and do it all over again. But this year was the first year where I didn't miss a day. There was no excuses. And what it made me to do from a psychological standpoint was I had to mentally prepare for that throughout the day. And what I ended up doing was focused on drinking more water throughout the day, because it's not so much the sun and the alcohol that is the major limiting factor getting up in the morning as much as dehydration.
Right.
Because you are in the sun all day long. Just because you're in a pool doesn't mean you're not getting dehydrated. So there's a couple of good sides and bad sides that I do, but at the end of the day, just remembering that if work takes the place of exercise, you're literally saying money is more important than my health.
And this goes along too, not just with exercise, but preparing to have the healthy food options in front of you and actually eating your protein every 2 to 3 hours. And on our end, we get the clients who say, I'm just too busy to eat, or I'm too busy to bring lunch, or I'm too busy to stop and, get the healthy meal. And there's options for that. Let's figure out a simple solution of a meal delivery program, or some simple solutions of meals that you could throw together on a Sunday and last you all week long, but you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen on a Sunday. It's all about discipline, being prepared, being disciplined, and putting 4% of your day to focus on your health as opposed to 100% of your day focused on your business or your work.
Or just other people, not yourself.
Right.
Whenever you're not focusing on yourself, that means you're focusing on everybody else.
Right.
So that's all I really had to say about that. I was just all jacked up after what my buddy said to me yesterday. And I was like, what? You're not even 40 years old. And at best, you're working out once every 2 weeks. Here's the icing on the cake, or bringing it all full circle, is you have to understand that when you don't exercise regularly, then there's 0% chance you're going to progress.
Right.
When you exercise with one-offs, or even if you just exercise 3 days a week, you're doing the bare minimum to slow down your regression. It's that simple. Even if you exercise 3 days a week, you're not going to progress. You're just going to slow how fastly you're regressing. The only way to progress is to exercise at least every other day, because your body is the most efficient thing on this planet. If you don't use it, you lose it. And it takes a ton of calories to maintain muscle mass opposed to fat mass. So if you're not using the muscle at least every other day, your body's going to go, well, we don't need to feed this excess muscle. We're going to just get rid of it. We're going to cannibalize it, waste it away, atrophy it. So those of you out there that are not even exercising every other day, you're doing just enough to slow your regression. There's 0% chance you're going to progress. And it's that simple.
Right. So the point is, you need to spend at least 4% of your day focusing on you, moving your body, fueling your body, and have discipline for your own health. Not motivation, but discipline.
I think it's even bigger than that. Start before that. I think most importantly, get at least 6 hours of sleep.
I might be getting 6.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. From 9 to 3. That's 6.
Oh,
It's
boy.
not enough, but it's 6.
You are not sleeping at 9.
It's true.
You're thinking about the next email.
I'm working on it. I slept more last week than I had slept in several months.
You did, and I was really impressed. I thought you might be sick.
I'm heading in the right direction. I'm progressing.
Okay, so that was a good one. Please make sure you take this very seriously, this episode very seriously. And I'm sure if this is not relevant to you, that you know you have somebody in your life that it is relevant. So pass it along to them and let them know. Whenever you prioritize working over exercise and you're saying money is more important than your health, what the hell good is money when you can't buy your health? How many people do we know in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who wish that they could buy health? You can't do it. You can't do it.
I like it.
Good?
Have a great week.
Okay.
Ciao for now.
Subscribe, pass it along, email us questions, and ciao for now.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.